Hey guys, I'll try to make this video as short as possible. This video is about the kettlebell swing, some of the common mistakes that I see, and how to fix those mistakes. Hope you get something out of it. Number one, don't squat your swing. It's a hip hinge, okay? The most frustrating thing that I see is people not using the right muscle groups for the squat. So the prime movers are your hamstrings, okay, plus your glutes. It's coming from them. It's not coming from the quads and the glutes. It's not a squat pattern, yeah? It's a hip hinge pattern, okay? Driving the hip back, making those hamstrings nice and tight, ready to extend the hip, okay? So, what does a squat swing look like? Like this. People squat and then throw the kettlebell up. Squat, throw it up, squat, throw it up. That's not how you swing, okay? The swing is a hinge movement, therefore we pull into a hinge position and explode from the hip. Pull, okay, so we'll receive it by driving the hip back, extending and swinging the kettlebell. Cool? Once again, it's a hinge, not a squat. Not a squat. To illustrate my point further, let's talk about the single leg or Romanian deadlift, okay? It's a great movement, it's a deadlift, so it's a hinge pattern, right? If you saw somebody doing it like this, okay, you'd be like, yeah, that's a single leg or Romanian because the hamstring is activated, the glute is activated, the hip is driving back, right? What if you saw somebody doing it like this? You'd be like, well, mate, that's not a Romanian deadlift, that's a reverse lunge, that's some sort of split squat. Get what I'm talking about? Hip hinge, not a squat pattern. Point number two is swinging below the knees, so when the handle goes lower than the knee. Some of the main issues with that is this. First and foremost, once again, when you start squatting your swing, the same thing will happen automatically because your hand level, yeah, in that squat position is automatically below the knee, right? When you start to do this kind of stuff here, cool, and placing the weight this far away from the lumbar, yeah, it's gonna hurt your back and you're gonna feel it. So you might be able to swing up to a certain weight pain-free, but as soon as you start to swing some serious weight, you start complaining that it hurts your back and so on. Well, you've got your center of mass, okay, and you've got your main lever point being at the hip. Any weight that is distant from the hip starts to increase in weight insofar as the force transfer to the lumbar. So you want to make sure that you keep everything nice and clean and nice and tight. The best way for you to do that is to make sure that when you swing, the handle of the kettlebell should ride above the knee line, right? So as a quick demonstration, once you swing, it's above the knees, high into the hip, versus this. See that? Below, okay? If I slow motion this starts to happen. My shoulders start to drop below my hip level, so all of a sudden the glutes and the hammies aren't doing the work anymore to get me from here to here, but it's the lower back. So once again, hit that kettlebell high into the hip, okay? Right there. A good landmark is the back of your wrist should be tight up in your groin. Cool? While I'm here, let's talk about spacing. It's not hip width, it's about 1 1/4 out, toes slightly out. That should be a good swinging position. But once you start to swing, you should be able to get what feels right for you. So let's say you either want to get yourself out of the bad habit of swinging below the knees, or you're trying to correct your client, okay? What's a really, really good way to learn nice and quick how to stop doing that? Easiest way that I can tell you is to stand directly over a kettlebell. Make sure it's the same size as the kettlebell you're using. There's little tiny kettlebells from Target, this high, sorry Target, don't count, cool? And place the kettlebell that you want to swing, once again in that same position, okay? So I'm directly over the kettlebell here, cool? And the kettlebell I want to swing is there. That's going to teach you to pull high at the beginning of the swing. So, guess what happens if I start swinging below the knees? Goodbye kettlebell, okay? And you learn it nice and quick. You might get your client or yourself hitting it a few times. They'll get frustrated, but eventually they'll learn to pull high into the hip, explosive, and start swinging with the handle above the knee line, tight into the hip rather than down below here. During the swing, same as when you're doing deadlifts and so on, you want to try to keep that back as flat, as neutral as possible. Okay, so we don't want to be rounding the back, and at the same time, at the top of the swing, you want to make sure that you pack your shoulders in. Packing shoulders in just means that you don't want to be disconnected so that the weight's pulling you forward, okay? Shoulders up, back into the socket. That's going to bring the lats in to assist to keep a nice strong spine. If you struggle to get yourself or your clients into that hip hinge position, the simplest drill I can teach you is from a standing position, place your hands on your thighs, just slide the hip back, maintaining contact with the shins and the hands, and slide it back up again. Cool? Slide it up, slide it back. If you tend to round your spine, try to do the slide, keeping your hands behind your butt, okay? As soon as your shoulders are back, it's pretty much impossible. So shoulders up, back, chest is out. It's pretty much impossible, unnatural for you to be doing this. So that's a good little drill there. Hammies are on check, not back is nice and flat, and stand up, cool? But once again, once you start to swing, you don't want to be rounded here, cool? It's eyes forward, chest out, shoulders back into the body, and off you go, cool? Setting up the swing for your initial pull. Often I'll see people just walk directly to the kettlebell, okay? Pick it up, and then start swinging there, okay? You see that it took me like 3 to 4 swings to even get the right momentum going. So the best option for you is to set up the rack position, it's called. So from the kettlebell, take 1 foot length away from it. Make sure the spacing in the legs is correct, okay? Hands on the kettlebell. From this position here, the hammies are already engaged. I'm going to take a sharp breath in, pull it high into the hip, and explode into the hinge pattern. Looks like this. And when it comes down, it goes back into the same position, okay? This is going to activate your hammies to work as an elastic into that explosive pull, and off your swing, as you return it, it's a drop to there. Okay, so when you swing out, you want to make sure that at the top part of the swing, the weight should be towards the heel to mid-foot, not on the toe. If you feel it on the toe and you feel that forward pull, once again that normally comes from when you squat your swing. So when you pull and explode, the body kind of sits back, weight on the heels and mid-foot, and that's where you should be feeling most of your body weight. The thing that can throw your technique off is when you swing too light or too heavy. The weight of the kettlebell should be determined by your skill level, your technique, but also what you're trying to achieve for that session. So your heavier kettlebells will be for your lower reps, which is more your strength, and your lighter weight should be more for your conditioning. Anything from 15 to 20 is considered conditioning. At the same time, if you swing too light, and I see a lot of people doing this, your swing will be off. It's a ballistic exercise, so it works on momentum, gravity. So a lot of times, people might actually know how to swing, but they pick up the kettlebells too light, and they're not getting the effect that you're actually supposed to. Breathing on the swing, it's pretty simple. When you pull the swing into the hip, you should be inhaling in through the nose, and then exhaling with force on the swing out. When you swing out, your abdominal should be on, your glutes should be on. It's going to sound something like this. So when that kettlebell is being swung back, you want your diaphragm full of air, so you're nice and tight, and then that forceful contraction at the top, and repeat. Time your swing so you're not rushing either on the pull or the swing, okay? So because it's a ballistic exercise, you'll get that moment of the swing where there's dead weight, either here or there. In other words, the weight's ready to come back down or the weight's ready to be launched, okay? If you start to swing before you finish the pull, yeah, or pull it down before it started swinging up, and once again you can start jarring your back and so on, and it can be an indicator that you're not swinging at the appropriate weight for your strength level, okay? So hip extension exercise, everybody's has different strengths in the hamstrings or the glutes. Figure out what the right weight is for you, okay? And work on your timing so that you get your swing here and then when it's ready to come back down, you pull, inhale tightly and explode again. Eyes, arms and grip, okay? Another mistake normally that I see is people don't grip the kettlebell and you start to get this floppy kettlebell action during the swing, cool? Starts to come here. So when you swing, you want to have a nice firm grip on the handle, almost as if you're trying to crush it, yeah? If you can get that crushing sensation going on, you're actually going to create some strong energy throughout. So the tenser you are, the tighter you are when you need to be tight during the movement, the more your power output. So nice strong grip. For the eyes, so we're referring to the neck and where should you see it, I find this the same as deadlifts. I pretty much keep my neck neutral with my spine so that I'm not straining my neck upwards or downwards, okay? Because I'm not swinging below the knees and ending up here, I never really look at the floor, okay? So when I go into that swing position, I'm looking somewhere there, okay? A few steps ahead of me, and drawing up, the eyes follow the torso, okay? If you get a little bit of neck extension during the swing, that's fine, as long as you're not craning it unnaturally, keeping it up, or following it all the way down, cool? If you can see it behind you during your swing, who taught you how to swing? Also your arms during the swing should be nice and straight, so you're not doing a weird kind of bicep curl, but you bring it in, like so. Extension of the hip is powerful, the arms are out and they're straight, okay? So not this. I don't really want to get into the whole debate of Russian swing versus American swing, which one's better. My personal opinion is if I'm internally rotating the humerus, right, and then putting into shoulder extension, for a lot of people that can create drama. Second point as well is somewhere past there, it's kind of losing momentum, so I'm swinging above and then waiting for it to come back down again. So if I want to get maximal output somewhere around here at the end of the swing, if I'm swinging at the right weight, I'll start to get that dead weight feeling, okay? And that's when I can pull back and get nice and explosive. I know that a lot of people in CrossFit swing above the head. That's called the American swing. I guess they do their workouts for time. So if we're in the competition and somebody's swinging here while somebody's swinging up there, obviously the person swinging here will be benefited and will be able to finish faster. So I guess they put them all up here to make everybody equal. Should you swing above the head? I don't. It's up to you if you do. But I find up to here, okay, I can swing nice and heavy. I can contract the body where it should be without getting that dead momentum feeling. Okay, that's just my opinion.